This is Lauren Anderson, YBM CEO and contributor to Financial Juneteenth. Today I'm interviewing Brian Randall of $2 .com, and we're going to find out about Brian Randall's journey and how he started this business, how profitable he's been, and what type of information and education he can provide to our viewers so that they too can have the blueprint of success. Brian, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So first of all, just give us an introduction to who you are, what you do, and what you've done.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, obviously. I started a company called $2 .com as a way to try to provide people with things in a fun way, but also the purpose is to provide someone, the ultimate winner of that auction, with something for, literally pennies on the dollar. And what made me come up with the concept was there was a point in time in my life where I had extreme financial struggles, lost my job, cars repossessed, and didn't know how I was going to make ends meet, was just newly married, and it's a very embarrassing feeling to not be able to obtain a vehicle or get credit and not have the money to make purchases. So when I finally was able to bounce back financially and get back on my feet, I thought to myself, what if I could come up with a way for people to be able to, who are going through what I was going through, what if I could come up with a way for them to be able to buy things and not necessarily have to have good credit and not necessarily have to have a lot of money to afford the things that they really, really want. And so the concept for crowd auctioning was born. And basically what crowd auctioning is that you offer a product and people put a small amount of money into a pool that then goes towards the purchase of the product. So before any bidding begins, the product has already been paid for. This allows the winner, so to speak, of that auction to now buy that product for really low prices, because there's no need to run the price up because the product has already been paid for. In addition to that, what I do is I have a thing called prizes and picks, which we give the losing people who paid $2 to enter the auction but did not win. They get a consolation prize. This idea sort of takes away the gambling aspect of it. We didn't really want to make it like a lottery or a gambling game. So we said, let's give the losing bidders something for their contribution. By adding that element, what we did is we created more of a crowdfunding auction, hence the name crowd auctioning. So this is we're hoping to grow and expand. We've actually only been live for 4 weeks. Which is interesting because we're at 600 users already. So we're growing quickly. It's catching on pretty quick. And we just closed actually another auction today. A young lady out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, won an auction that we were hosting with a Instagram personality. And I think she's going to be happy. We're going to set it up to where we actually go to her and deliver the product. And we try to do that because these are our first winners, so we just want to make it a really big deal.
Yeah,
content marketing. Yeah,
that's great. So congratulations on your 4-week-old launch.
Thank you.
First of all, and on the success that you've had so far. So tell me, how do you receive the merchandise? I know that you have it on $2 .com that you can bid, and it's an auction environment. But how have you obtained the merchandise as far as a business goes for those who may be interested in this sort of e-commerce, so to speak? How did you obtain this merchandise? Did you have investors? What were the steps that you took so that you could have the products and build a customer base?
Right. Well, actually, that's the beauty of this platform. We're making something out of nothing because we don't actually have the products until the auction closes. The beauty of our platform is it's very low overhead, right? Because we don't buy products, we don't store products. We faced that challenge because we were a startup. I mean, I funded this thing out of my own pocket. So to go get distribution was almost impossible. To have a warehouse where we would hold and house products was impossible. So what we came up with, and we made sure it was legal, I consulted with an attorney, and we host what is called a virtual auctions. So basically, it's no different than drop shipping. So what happens is we put the products, we talk to our users, and we find out what products they want. We host the auction, and basically what they're bidding on, and it's in our terms of agreement, our terms of use and our user agreement. What they're bidding on is like a virtual coupon. So then once they win, then that virtual coupon is then used to go actually buy the product that they've been bidding on. And this made it very cost effective for us. It made it so that we didn't have to go out and immediately get investor capital. Sometimes you got to get creative when you don't have a well of money. My family being from the east side of Detroit, being raised in the east side of Detroit, not having money, being raised poor, I didn't have the wealthy uncle I could go get a $50,000 loan from, or a dad or somebody. So we had to get really, really creative as far as how we our business model. So virtual auctions was the way that we decided to go. And so it's real simple. Once the auction closes, then we shop for vendors. Usually we'll have the vendor queued up because we can watch the whole process and we know when the auction is coming to a close. And we get the best deal or best rate based upon, retail value. We purchase the product and then we drop ship it. A lot of people are doing that with Amazon and eBay. We're just doing it on our own business platform and our own model. So.
Wow. What a great business model. So tell me about how you build your customer base. I know that you mentioned some social media in regard to the young lady who just won, and you're going to have her on Instagram. So what is your Instagram? How can people follow your business? And how do you build your customer base? What is your marketing strategy?
Well, right now, our marketing strategy, first of all, our Instagram account is at $2, $2 LLC, $2 LLC. The thing about crowd auctioning is it's a crowd auction, so you need a crowd of people, which we did not have the luxury of having. So I came up with the idea to basically get with influencers who did have a crowd of people, people who've built large social media followings, people who've built large Instagram followings, who are looking for ways to monetize those followings. So they partner with us and they host auctions on our website. So, for instance, the last auction that was hosted by a young lady who's an Instagram star who has almost 400,000 followers on Instagram. So the deal was she hosts an auction, and in return, we split the profits with her. She's driving traffic to our site. She's getting paid. Her followers are learning about us, and it's sort of like a cross-pollination thing going on there. That was the quickest way and the most cost-effective way, with us, again, having a shoestring budget and not having a whole lot of money for marketing. That was the quickest way to get users and grow them very, very quickly. And we have a couple of people that are in the queue right now that we're looking at setting up some of those same deals with. Marketing is another strategy that we're getting ready to try. We're getting ready on our YouTube channel. We're getting ready to launch something called a $2 TV, which is going to be a product review. And basically, the products that we're going to offer on our website, we're going to review those products, test those products, show what we think about those products, and then within 24 to 48 hours later, have those products displayed on our website for auctioning. So it's all about the social aspect. There's a very strong social aspect to crowd auctioning, and we try to exploit that as much as we can as far as how we promote, who we promote with. And to me, that's the best way to go. If you don't have a whole lot of money, start trying to tap into some of those influencers and cross-pollinate, because they're looking to monetize their following. They're looking to make money, and we all have something in common. So maybe you can make it work with them.
Yeah, that's actually a great point, because considering the environment of social media today, we're seeing now that Instagram is actually becoming very profitable for some people in regard to their clothing lines and their even to the event of their public speaking, and all kinds of different facets are really growing from Instagram. So I think that was a great idea to partner with those people that have larger platforms so that you could integrate some of their followership to yours. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about a day in the life of this e-commerce business. What does it look like, for someone who may be interested in working with you, partnering with you? What does your daily load look like?
It's stressful. I'm not going to lie. It is very stressful. The thing about a traditional brick and mortar business is that, you have your hours of operation, right? You go in at a certain time, you close at a certain time. People come and knock on your door. You can tell them come back tomorrow. You can't do that with an internet business, especially with something like what we're doing. I mean, we're constantly responding to customer service issues, constantly trying to make sure that everyone is having the most optimal experience that they can have. And in the early phases, when we're so short on manpower right now, I mean, we find that me and my team, we're kind of doing everything. Everybody on the team is wearing multiple hats. So that becomes a little stressful, but it's a good stress. It's fun. It's something that we love doing. But you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared for those 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning issues that may arise. I mean, I can't just say I deal with it in the morning if my server goes down,
Right.
Those are issues that have to be addressed. So you're dealing with the internet, you're dealing with so many different time zones as well. So you have customers, like we have customers that are in California. We have customers or users that are in Texas, Florida, so all over the United States. And you're dealing with those different time zones. So what is, 1 o'clock in the morning for you may be, 8 o'clock in the evening for them.
Right.
And they're going to expect a response. They're going to respect you to answer. So it gets a little labor intensive in the early stages, but as we grow, and we're getting ready to go for our first round of investment capital here shortly, which we're really optimistic about that.
Yeah.
And once we do that, and if we can raise what we're trying to raise, we'll be able to expand. We'll be able to hire more people and scale our manpower to help with some of those taskings, so we're not so overworked.
Wow. So tell me, you were a student of the Black Wealth Boot Camp
Yes.
by Dr. Boyce Watkins. How was that experience, and what were some of the things that you learned from that course?
Well, I thought the experience was awesome. The Black Wealth Boot Camp for me was a breath of fresh air because it's something that I'm always ranting about, but I always feel like the crazy guy in the room because no one sort of understands what I'm talking about. And I remember the first time that I ever heard Dr. Watkins talk, I got a little bit crazy. I'm like, man, is this man really saying? He's saying what I've been saying, to my circle for years. So that was awesome for me. What he talked about, how he talked about building wealth, generational wealth, teaching people to teach their children about wealth. Those are so very important things for me because no one taught me about wealth. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I think I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, but how to do it and what are the ways to go about it? That was never really discussed. Really what we talked about was more how to get a good job, go to college, things that. It was the normal American life, but it didn't really create independence and freedom.
Right.
So I was just glad to see that somebody else is thinking the way that I've thought, and so many, and that the awakening of the Black people in America is that look, to get yourself out of that state of imprisonment, you have to build your own wealth. You have to employ yourself and leave something for your children.
Yeah. I'm glad you learned so much from that course. It's certainly a course that all entrepreneurs should take, especially
Absolutely.
Black entrepreneurs, for the network as well. So before we go, give the audience just another roundabout of your website and how to reach out to you.
Yeah, well, okay. $2 .com is the crowd auctioning platform. We are looking to get our users the best products we can get them for the cheapest price. Ask you to participate in an auction, so log on to www.$2 .com today, $2 and participate. And social media, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/$2, Instagram, $2 LLC, and our Twitter account is @$2, all $TOO.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm sure that you will have an influx of email and new followership from Financial Juneteenth, and we wish you much success with $2 .com. And
thank you.
We definitely support the business, and thanks for supporting Black Wealth Bootcamp. So
no problem.
I appreciate your time today, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Lauren. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.